All right, today we're going to do something really important. We're going to learn how to see the internet like a professional fact checker. Basically, how to spot the garbage, verify what's real, and build a personal toolkit to navigate all that noise.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're scrolling through your feed, and it's just this tidal wave of news, opinions, memes, viral videos. It feels like a constant battle just to figure out what's credible and what's not. So how do you actually find the truth in that flood? And this is the heart of the problem, isn't it? A wild story can go viral and reach millions before anyone has a chance to even check if it's true. This isn't just a small annoyance. The speed that misinformation travels at makes it a huge challenge for all of us. And that's exactly why being able to verify what you see online isn't some niche skill just for journalists or academics anymore. Nope. It's become a fundamental, essential part of being an informed person, a responsible citizen in this day and age. Okay, so let's get into it. If you want to become a great fact checker, you first have to learn to think like one. And that means really understanding the world that they work in. Professional fact checking didn't just appear out of thin air. It's actually a whole movement. It has its own history, major organizations, and really rigorous, specific methods. Getting a handle on this context is the first step to learning from their decades of hard-won expertise.
And that is the whole point. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, building on a solid foundation laid by people who do this stuff for a living. We can learn their best practices to make our own critical thinking that much sharper. All right, now that we've got the mindset down, let's get to the really fun part, the tools. This is where we go from theory to practice. We're going to equip you with a seriously powerful verification toolkit.
Every single investigation, whether it's big or small, it always starts with these three fundamental steps. First, you look at the source. Who's telling me this? Then, you identify the actual claim. What exactly are they trying to say is true? And finally, you assess the evidence. What proof do they have to back it up?
Let's just pause on that second step for a second, because claim identification is a real skill. Say you see a post that claims a leaked document proves a politician voted against a popular bill because they got a secret donation. Whoa, that's actually three separate things to verify, right? One, was the document really leaked? Two, how did the politician actually vote? And three, is there any proof of that donation? You have to check each piece on its own. So once you get the hang of those fundamentals, you can really level up. It's time to move on to the more specialized tools that the pros, the journalists and investigators, use to really get to the bottom of a story.
Okay, these are the power tools. A quick reverse image search can show you that a photo of a recent protest is actually from 5 years ago. Geolocation tools, they can analyze shadows and street signs in a video to confirm it was shot in Kyiv, not Moscow. And OSINT, that's open source intelligence, is this whole art of piecing together publicly available clues, like social media posts and business records, to uncover the real story. These techniques are what separates the amateurs from the pros.
But here's the thing you have to remember. Not all claims are built the same. A political statement is a completely different beast from a scientific one, and verifying each requires a totally different approach.
What's so great about this table is how it breaks down that challenge.
I mean, it's common sense, right? You wouldn't ask a historian to verify a new medical study. In the same way, checking a viral tweet requires speed and an understanding of how platforms can be manipulated, while a big statistical claim means you need to understand things like sample size and margin of error. You gotta use the right tool for the job. So let's ask a question that I think frustrates all of us. You see a totally false story spreading, you share a fact check or a correction, but the original lie just keeps going. Why? Why does that happen? Well, it turns out a big part of the answer is in our own psychology.
And this slide illustrates the solution perfectly. The strategy on the right, debunking, which is correcting a myth after it's already out there, well, it's often just too little too late. Sometimes it can even backfire and make people remember the false thing even more. The much more effective strategy on the left is pre-bunking. Think of it like a vaccine for misinformation. You expose people to a weakened version of a misleading argument before they encounter the real thing. It helps them build up an immunity so they don't get fooled later.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. When you put this all together, you understand the mindset, you master the tools, and you learn the psychology, you actually go through a fundamental transformation. You're leaving this explainer with a clear, systematic way to look at information. You have the tools now, from the basic to the advanced.
But, and this is the most important part, you have the confidence to stop, to question, and to actually investigate what you see online, instead of just passively accepting it.
And that is the ultimate takeaway. This is the big shift. You are no longer just a passive consumer of whatever flows down your timeline. You are an active participant. You're an investigator.
So, the only question left is, with this new mindset and these new skills, what are you going to investigate first? The power is officially in your hands now.